What's happening, Facebook? Rage Nation, welcome back to another episode of The Talk Before the Walk. I'm your host, Cool Breeze, Justin Christie, and we are here with another exciting episode featuring fighters, these women featherweight fighters from Rage in the Cage 83, which is happening Saturday, September 18th at the Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton, Oklahoma. You can get your tickets at stubwire.com, and don't forget to pick your favorite fighters at checkout, whomever you're there to support. So support your local fighters. Tonight we have a very special guest. Both of these fighters are making their amateur fighting debut. We have Sabrina DeArmond, who's been on our show, featured on the Roll in the Cage shows as well for Rage in the Cage. And we also have another person who's been competing on the Roll in the Cage events, Cayla, and I love her nickname, the Corgi of Corski, Checorski. Just a fun nickname to say. So we will definitely get into like how she came about that nickname during this interview. So this is going to be pretty fun. I'm really excited. Both of these women are phenomenal martial artists in and of their own right, hellacious warriors, and I cannot wait to watch their competition against each other coming up on Saturday, September 18th. If you guys haven't been out to Sugar Creek Casino, I am really excited that Rage in the Cage is making their return. They wasn't able to go at all last year due to the pandemic and whatnot. So making their return to Sugar Creek Casino is just going to be absolutely phenomenal. The production value goes up there because, of course, you get that casino backing with everything. So, from a production standpoint, when Fast Productions comes in and does our work, we just really have a fun time with that. For those of you watching, please make sure if you have any questions or comments for either of these two warriors, these two fighters, just please go ahead and post them in the comments below, and we'll do our best to showcase them on our show. We love hearing the voice of the Rage Nation and everybody who's a fan of the Talk Before the Walk. So the more you guys are involved, the happier we are, the better the show is. So please feel free to make your comments in there. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let us know if you have any questions for them, just let us know. I'm going to bring up Sabrina DeArmond first. She's got her name Little Mama this time. Maybe she put on a nickname finally. That's going to be kind of cool. Without further ado, please help me welcome back to the show, Sabrina DeArmond. Sabrina, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am all a Twitter with glee. I'm just super excited to be here. So let's talk a little bit about you gotta. I gotta change this up real quick. Make sure we can see your nickname here. Show your names. There we go. Boom. Lil Mama. Is that going to be your new fight nickname, Lil Mama?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to yell that at your face.
Yes.
Lil Mama. I'm gonna practice that one. That's gonna be fun. So I got Lil Mama versus the Corgi of Corski. This is gonna be the best. This is gonna be so fun. I'm really looking forward to this. So, excuse me, choking on my own water. You guys just got out of training. I was talking with your husband before the broadcast. He mentioned that you guys have a new gym location as well. Tell me a little bit about that. How's that new gym going, and what are you guys doing with all that?
It's definitely going good. I think I see definitely potential in there. There's a lot of wrestlers in the surrounding areas, and they already have a huge tri-fit class going, and one of the biggest, baddest mother truckers in the world, Chris Smith, she runs it and just opening doors for young and old people that if they want to get in working out, then there's a new spot.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So tell me a little bit. For those who don't know you, I mean, some of them have not got to see you on our show. Tell us a little bit about your martial arts background. What got you started into martial arts? And tell me a little bit about your progression into making your amateur debut here.
Well, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while. When I first started, I absolutely hated it. Couldn't stand it. I was the only female at my gym, and things happened. And then I was like, I'm going to take a back step. Maybe jiu-jitsu wasn't for me. And then 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks later, my husband was like, okay, there's some more females in this gym. Maybe you need to try this gym and we can work from here. The moment I walked into the gym, I came in open-minded and had just a new learning for this sport, and I fell in love. I realized that I didn't have to only roll with females. I could roll with males, and I was comfortable with rolling with males from that day forward. And that changed a lot. Um, Trusting your jiu-jitsu partner is 1000% your whole jiu-jitsu. If you can trust your partner, you should have nothing to worry about. MMA was always my goal the second time around. It was always my goal to have an MMA fight, just to be one day, to tell my kids, hey, mom did this or mom did this. Personal goals are definitely being set and definitely being taken
Smashed.
and yeah,
Smashed.
and definitely smashed. I'm really looking forward to the MMA fight. I think it's going to be a great show, and if you're not there, you're missing it.
Absolutely. And you've also competed in what is it, 1 or 2 kickboxing matches as well?
Yes, 2 kickboxing matches. I've done judo. I've done my first Naga tournament here recently, and that was really fun.
How'd you do in that?
I got a katana sword, which is awesome. And I got an awesome belt back here from Naga.
Nice.
So.
That's a hell of an experience to be able to bring that back to the gym and be like, haha,
yeah.
show off your belt.
So, yeah.
That is so cool.
Definitely.
Now, you and Cayla are both fighting at featherweight. I think the current featherweight champion for Rage in the Cage is Beatriz Martinez. Have you eyeballed her at all?
A little bit here and there, but it's all open.
Okay, get a couple of wins under your belt, maybe you get that title shot.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, between the two of you, I think both you and Cayla have such an extraordinary future ahead of you for your martial arts careers, and I cannot wait to see what all comes of it. We got some comments in here that I've been checking out.
Awesome.
Speaking of your medals and stuff, Carl Wolfwood said that's a huge bling farm back there. What's Sabrina's favorite achievement? If there's time for a question.
Oh man. Honestly, just leveling up in my jiu-jitsu world. Every stripe that you get on a belt, every belt rank that you get is a huge achievement. It doesn't matter if it's your first day on the jiu-jitsu mat and you're a white belt or you're a black belt. You always stay hungry and always just keep learning. I love, I'm looking forward to keep climbing the ladder.
Nice. So, what have you been doing to prepare for this fight against Cayla?
I live in the gym. Just live, breathe, sleep in the gym, and that's really all you can do. Just practice and practice and practice, and at the night of the fight, it shows out.
Okay. Is there anything that we can look forward to seeing from you? Any kind of special techniques or any kind of special move that you're looking to try to pull off?
No, just I always wing it. I tell myself I'm going to have a game plan, and then I'll go in there and then I'll do complete opposite of my game plan. So the game plan just doesn't really work for me. I just it's a feel and touch kind of go.
Well, game plans can go out the window. I think it was Mike Tyson that said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth or punched in the face.
Yeah.
So take it from one of the best heavyweight champions of all time. So he would definitely know. He would definitely know. So I'm going to bring a little bit of Facebook up into real life, into our video. You recently made a post talking about the difficulties, so to speak. I'm going to paraphrase this quite a bit, of being a parent and a martial artist at the same time, and training for
Yeah.
fights and doing all this stuff while being a parent. How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
You have 4 kids, and you
Yeah.
are also pursuing an amateur, like making your amateur debut, in the gym
Yeah.
constantly, like you said, living at the gym. Tell me about the day-to-day schedule that you guys have, and kind of the difficulties and trials and tribulations you face as a mother of 4. And obviously, you don't skimp on being a mom. I know sometimes you probably feel like you do, but I do know you well enough to know that your kids are your whole world. But tell me a little bit about being a parent and combining that with being a martial artist like this.
I love my kids. Like my kids are, like you said, my everything. My older 2, they're pretty good. Like they're good when it comes to gym time. They understand, hey, mom and dad work hard for this. They want this, and balancing school and come home from school, and then as soon as they get home, shower, homework, eat, make sure they're fed, and then boom, in the car, going to the gym 2, 3, 4 hours. My 2 older ones, they're 7 and 8, and my younger is 3 and 2. For 3 and 2-year-old, set for an hour at a time is just, you're asking a little too much.
Yeah.
But no, they're thankfully I have such a family oriented gym that if my kid needs something, my professor Cody, he'll be right there in dad mode, and he'll just be like, "What do you need?" And that's something that not every gym has, definitely. Um, but yeah, it's definitely not easy doing anything, and then also being a parent on top of that. And there are times that my husband, he'll not feel too good, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I want a rest day." I'm like, "All right, cool. Well, I'll take the kids. You rest, stay at home, whatever." And we definitely have to have a 50-50 relationship of, okay, kids here, do drilling this, and just definitely tedious. Very, very tedious.
You train with Glenn Woods, and
Yes.
Glenn and I share a common friend, Aaron Radcliffe, which I think he may have come up to train with you guys sometimes. Aaron and
Yeah.
Candy and all them. Uh,
Yes.
Aaron used to be one of the instructors that taught at my gym several years ago, and this was back when their youngest child, Sir, was just almost an infant, and I think he was just that walking age. And it's funny how you mentioned those family oriented gyms that I could be in the middle of teaching this lesson, and all of a sudden I've got Sir like running up on the mat, and next thing you know he's
Yeah.
hanging on Sensei Justin's head, and I'm over here not missing a beat teaching these classes with a baby on my head and not even
Yes.
worried about it. And like you could tell,
Mhm.
Aaron and Candy were kind of almost like worried about it until like I'm just over here just with the kid, no problem, and
Yep.
then they could continue on with their training. And I love those gyms that are like that. So it's really awesome to see that Trinity Martial Arts is one of those gyms that is actually kid friendly as well
Yeah.
as combat effective. So
Yes. Yes.
it's really cool. And the fact that you are what I like to call a super mom, being able to do pursue this dream of yours in and of its own right, as well as being the parent that you're supposed to be. And honestly, from what it sounds like, the way you're describing it, this adds to the structure of your household,
Yes.
as far
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
scheduling and things like that. So that's pretty awesome. And I don't know how many other people would want to do this or want to pursue something like this, but the fact that you are able to be a living inspiration for your children. Do you ever see them? Obviously, they're going to try to copy techniques and try to practice martial arts as well. How often does that kind of spill over into their playtime and stuff like that?
It's funny. Their bedroom is actually on the floor is actually a wrestling mat, so
Okay.
they get like definitely practice. When the whole COVID thing happened and everything, we took precautions and we cleared out all their bedroom rooms, shifted to the one side, and me and Jerry just trained in there for a little bit, and then our kids picked up a lot. Like my 3-year-old knows how to do an arm bar, and I'm like,
All right.
it's little things.
Wow, that is pretty awesome. That is really cool. I love to see when a family of martial artists come together because you and Jerry both are extraordinarily hardworking martial artists, and to be able to have the next generation
Yeah,
with you guys, it's just I mean I think that's going to be awesome. Those kids are going to be prodigies. I mean, it's just going to be
yes,
so cool.
yes,
It's going to be so
yes,
cool. So, what do you know about your opponent, Cayla? You guys have grappled before, right?
yes,
Very
yes.
recently, I believe. How did that go? And how do you see your fight going against her?
It went good. I definitely, if I was picky, I would definitely have a lot to work on. I did work on, and this one's going to be better, if not just right there at the top. Like, I got personal goals that I want to hit during this fight, so
Okay, you guys are definitely picking a really cool venue to fight at. I know you guys have been to the farmers market quite a bit, but being able to go to
yeah,
Sugar Creek Casino is going to be pretty awesome as well.
yeah, it'll be
So
my first time.
yeah, it'll be really fun. It's going to be really fun for sure. Um, The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the staging area for the fighters because you guys are pretty much all going to be in like a big long hallway. There's not a lot of dressing rooms there, but other
Okay.
than that, I mean the whole venue in and of itself is just phenomenal. It's a really good arena for fighting, and I'm really happy that Rage in the Cage is back there. So,
Yeah.
do you have any friends, family, teammates, sponsors you want to give a shout out to real quick before we get Kayla's interview?
Just Trinity Martial Arts. I definitely want to thank all them for their hard work. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. Chris Smith, uh, my husband Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage. I'm going to get Cayla up here. We're going to find out everything we need to know about Cayla. And I'm going to bring you guys back up for a virtual face off and just hang tight. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you.
All right, guys. You heard it right there from Sabrina DeArmond. Super mom. She's got family or 4 kids that she's supporting as well. Her and Jerry are both fighters as well, both martial artists, training all the time. So that work, training, family balance is actually pretty awesome. It's not the life for everybody, so it's a very tough life. So it's kind of cool. Just want to give a shout out to my boy Kenny Vanderpool. He loves to talk before the walk. Kenny, I love you too, buddy. Um, and Carl Wolfwood, I know you wasn't talking to me, but I miss you too, buddy. I just want to throw that out there. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring in Cayla, the Corgi of Corski, Checorski. I love that nickname. We're going to start talking about how she got that. So please welcome to the Talk Before the Walk, Cayla Checorski. Cayla, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I am finer than frog hair split 4 ways. I'm really excited to have you here. I was trying to get you on the show several times before. I think we were able to get you on for a roll in the cage once, but now we're going to be making your Rage in the Cage debut for MMA. This is going to be fun. How did that come about? And tell me a little bit about your martial arts history and how you got started.
Yeah. So it was something that, like, growing up, I always was like interested in trying, but I was always involved in other sports and never had time to. Then it was my junior year of my undergrad, or it might have been the first year of my graduate program. I can't remember. But my friend was like, "Hey, come try out kickboxing," and I was like, "Okay, that could be fun." So I actually went to a Muay Thai class, fell in love with it. A couple months in, I saw an MMA practice, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to try that. That looks so much fun." But in order to do that, I got to learn jujitsu. So I tried out jujitsu, absolutely hated it. For the first couple months, I was like, I am so tired of being smashed and choked. Like, I'd much rather be punched in the face. But then a couple months into that, when it started clicking, I fell in love with it. Absolutely became a passion. And so I started going further and further in that, started competing, started doing the rolling cages and stuff, but also keeping the goal of MMA there. And then now it's just to the point where I'm just so ready to start this fight journey and see where that takes me.
I've got to watch you compete in rolling the cage and jujitsu and stuff with that. I have to say that you are a phenomenal jujitsu practitioner,
Thank you.
and it's kind of comforting in a way to hear how we kind of struggled for the first couple of months with it, especially for our viewers at home who are watching this who you may not know that jujitsu could be something for them. What was it like whenever that moment, that little light bulb moment, clicked for you?
It was crazy. It was like I would get so frustrated, and then when things started clicking, it was like I was finally coming out of the water, like finally getting, because I knew if I ever wanted to make like my goals happen in MMA, then that was something that I needed to learn how to do. So about a month when things started clicking, I was like, oh my God, thank God, finally. And then it was just like progression from there. So like all the viewers, if you're new at jujitsu and you're kind of having the same issues, stick with it, because eventually it does start to click. It's kind of like learning a new language. It just has to start making sense to you.
That is awesome. That's a great way to put it too. Absolutely phenomenal way of putting that. So I teased this a little bit in your intro. Let's talk a little bit about your nickname and how that came about. I know you and I have talked about it before, but this is for our audience. Tell me the story about how you became the Corgi of Corski.
Yeah. So recently I have actually shortened it. Now it's just War Corgi. It's easier for t-shirts purposes. But the Corgi of Corski part, I was cross-training with Sarah Alpar and Christina Williams. And we were kind of joking about it one day. And we're like, what goes with Checorski? Like, that's one of the hardest names to find something that rhymes. And I was like, well, what about, like, what kind of animal? Because a lot of people have animals. And one of them said Corgi. And then I think it was Sarah who was like, well, what if you were just Cayla of Corski, Checorski? And I was like, yeah, I mean, that could work. And then it just kind of, after joking around about it, it just became one long name. And before one of the roll in the cages, they shot a message in the group message, and they're like, you've got to totally make it your name, like your walkout name. And I was like, okay, might as well. And so I added it on the card real quick, and it kind of stuck from there.
I absolutely love it. I mean, what I love most about it is, of course, it's adorable. I mean, like if you see a little corgi and everybody loves a corgi, you can't not love a corgi. They're so cute. But of course, I love how phonetically it rhymes, and but I think what I love the most about it is how original it is. I think we talked about it on my last show, how we had a couple of fighters from the last Rage in the Cage come out as both of them were the ferocious. Two different fights, but I mean, as the ring announcer, I had to sit there and be like, okay, this guy's the ferocious such and such, and then 2 fights later here, I'm like, and now it's the ferocious this guy. I'm like, can we be something original? I had that same conversation with a couple of fighters a couple years ago. They all wanted to be known as the Freight Train. And I'm like, yeah, there's like 15 fighters known as the Freight Train though right now. Like, pick something original, pick something new. And what's wonderful about it is here you are about to make your MMA fighting debut, and you already have something so original and catchy and marketable. And I think that is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that Sarah Alpar helped you come up with that, you can like name drop that a little bit. I think that adds to a little bit of the star power that I truly believe that you have. So I think this is going to be kind of cool. I understand having to shorten it for the t-shirts, but I mean, you could really sell a lot of the Corgi stuff, and the of Corski stuff as well. I'm pretty sure you could merch out with that for sure. So enough about all that stuff. Tell me a little bit about how this fight came about, and how you and Sabrina came to terms to have your debuts together.
Yeah. Well, after I would probably say 2 months ago, my coach Derek Adkins came up and he's like, I think you're ready. You're ready for your fight, because he's real big about waiting until he feels that we're ready, which is 100% okay with me. And he wants me to. He didn't want me to have a hard cut for my first fight. So he's like, let's do 145 for maybe the first or second fight, and then we'll go down to 135. So we started talking to Summer and everyone, and then the fight got offered and just kind of agreed to it. I was like, yeah, that's cool. It's cool that we're both making our debut together. It does kind of like suck because there's no like, you can't watch any like film to know styles or anything. So we're both kind of like going in there blind. But in a way that's cool too.
But at the same time, you guys have got to grapple each other previously.
Yeah.
So you actually have kind of an advantage over some other people who are just making their MMA debut. You've actually got to be hands-on with your opponent already. What was that like? And is that something that has helped you prepare for this fight?
Yeah, in a way it has. Looking back to how our fight was and everything like that, and kind of her style, we're kind of going off that to kind of see what maybe her striking style might be like, and kind of catering to that more. So that's cool. I know that she's going to come in with like high intensity. She's very aggressive, and just a good athlete. So I just going to be watching for that and ready for that.
Outstanding. We have a question from our audience. William King Kong Conley asks, what pushes you or fuels you?
You
take that however way you want.
Yeah. That's a good question. I guess being it's like it's the small victories, honestly, that keep it going. Like it feels good to win big things, but it's in practice whenever you've been working for weeks on something and finally it starts clicking in live drills. Or like you go from getting taken down all the time to like getting a little harder to take down once and once. Like you can feel the growth and everything. That's really cool. Also, I don't have any kids personally, but I am a kids coach, and just seeing the kids grow up in the sport and everything like that, kind of wanting to be someone for them to look up to, especially as like a woman in the sport, because there's not very many of us. So helping guide the little girls to be strong, independent women. It's cool too.
I love that. I've talked with Sabrina about this several times, and I bring my my daughter with me. I'm a stepdad. I bring my daughter with me to the roll in the cages and stuff like that. And one thing I love to do is be able to point out to her, athletes such as yourself and Sabrina and like Ebony Ivory and these Stephanie Madden and these women who I see that are I don't know how you guys feel about your own self, but as I see you guys as such strong, women to look up to in martial arts, and I'm like, you guys are the local people that I get to sit here and point to my daughter and say, look, she is awesome, she's amazing, and watching you guys, in victory, defeat, however way it is, you get out there and you give it your all in the roll in the cages, and now with the rage in the cage stuff, to have I love having you guys there as examples for her. We were looking up to like Ronda Rousey when she was fighting, and then she went to WWE, and we got our Olympic athletes and so on and so forth. Like for example, this year here we had our first African American Black female Olympic gold medalist in wrestling, and to be able to show that to the world and show that to my daughters, like, look, there's nothing you can't do. With enough hard work and determination, and just for stuff like that. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the sport and in the sport. So I'm gonna get off my little rant. I don't know what all there is to say about all that stuff, but I mean, I'm just like Garrett Coe just is now saying in our comments here, these women are gangsters. Going to be an amazing fight. Can't wait for this one. I couldn't agree more. I know there's probably a lot of pressure on you guys to go out there and perform and put on the best show possible, but like I was explaining to you, in our backstage pre sound check and stuff, just go out there and be the best you that you can be, and that's enough. That's more than enough. You guys are amazing just as you are, and to be able to get out there and do your absolute best in that cage is just going to be phenomenal to watch. And you may not know it in the moment, but those are those moments that are going to last forever. And there are going to be those little girls in the audience that are going to watch that and be like, maybe I can too. And it's going to be awesome. You guys are like, I feel like y'all are superheroes in my opinion. So, much respect to both of you guys. So you guys are at a new gym as well. You and Derek and all them. Tell me a little bit about Raptor Jiu-Jitsu and what it's like transitioning into that new spot.
Yeah. So we, I guess, started the move probably early June. And it's a great location. It's a lot of space. There's definitely been a little bit of growing pains with the moves and everything. But honestly, the environment and atmosphere is so great. It brought the MMA team together, like so close. Like all the, I'm the only girl who trains like every day there. We have Mitzi Mary who comes on like Thursdays and Sundays with us, but overall it's just me and the boys. But they're the best. They're like brothers to me. They're great, and it really like the move really brought us together. And I think this gym has like so much potential to be something great and really produce a lot of great fighters.
Awesome. I know Derek is one hell of a coach for sure. He's it's every time I deal with him, he just seems like to have such great temperament. Whenever we're talking, what's it like to train with him as your coach, and how long have you guys been training together?
About 3. So Derek's has been my only like coach. So about 3 years. And it's great. He's also he's my coach. I'm also one of my closest friends. And so, the dynamic is super fun. We joke around, but we're able to work hard too. So overall, it's just a really like great experience.
That's awesome. Where's your gym located?
It is off of Danforth and Cantrell. I think I always say it wrong. But yeah.
Okay. So up in Edmond. Yeah. Nice. So before we get to y'all's face off, do you have any friends, family, teammates, or sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah. So I of course want to make a shout out to Raptor Jiu-Jitsu, AK MMA, and Deadman Kickboxing. My teammates, especially Logan Swanner and Ryan Hayes, who are actually on the same card. Outsiders Combat Club, Julia Vila, she's one of my closest friends and my strength and conditioning coach. Cross training there is awesome. Also, Killer Bees is awesome to cross train at. My friends and family, they're great. They're very super supportive of everything. So
awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring Sabrina up here, and I'll let you guys kind of talk a little bit. And I know you've talked plenty of times before, but now we're going to do it in public. So, okay. Sabrina, welcome back to the show. Sabrina, you know Cayla. Cayla, you know Sabrina. So, all right, this is the moment where we're going to have to start talking all the trash. I'm kidding. You don't have to do it. I know there's a ton of respect between you guys, so that's actually kind of awesome in my book. Sabrina, what do you got to say to Cayla before your fight?
Nothing really. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out in the cage. I'm excited.
Cayla,
what do you got to say to Sabrina before your fight?
Honestly, kind of the same. I did lose our grappling match, so I'm excited to kind of come back and put everything together and see if my holes were kind of filled and everything like that. So I'm excited about that.
Right on. Well, Cayla, where do you feel like you went wrong in that grappling match?
I gave up position a lot. I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. Mentally, I just kind of like hit a wall, honestly. Like I was just kind of like shut off. So just keeping on my game, just staying on the whole time is kind of what I've been working on.
Keeping on your A game?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was for Derek. Sorry.
No.
Couldn't help it. God, I'm a dork. All right, so you guys grappled with each other. Obviously, Sabrina ended up taking the victory on that. How do you feel like that contest is going to go differently with punching and kicking involved? Sabrina, I'll let you answer that first.
Grappling is a whole other beast of its own, but then you add punches and kicks to it, it escalates. It could be good or it could be bad. It's just how one little mistake can be the end of it. So you just definitely got to be vigilant. And
Cayla, same question to you.
Yeah, there's sometimes where I feel more comfortable doing MMA because I feel like I have more tools in my toolbox. If stuff isn't working for me on the ground, I can stand it back up, if vice versa. So I like that aspect, that I have more choices and more options. But on the other side of that, so do they. So, but I'm very excited about it.
Do you feel like, the way your grappling match went, do you feel like you would have gave up as many positions if you were able to strike?
I think being able to strike would have helped a lot in that. It could have got me out of some more difficult situations that I was in. But yeah, definitely.
And Sabrina, do you feel like you could have been more dominant had you been able to strike?
Oh, definitely. Once you get in a position where you know that, okay, I'm on top, I have position, striking would definitely help. That's a given.
All right, so let's just play this. Just play like a Step Brothers type of game. On the count of 3, I want you to say your favorite strike. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I don't know.
She's just like, this one. All of them. All the right ones.
Which hand is which? Hang on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with cameras, it'll be on the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
So
right.
We call that stage right or stage left, whatever. It's always backwards on the theater part of it, but it's just anything with the right hand. It's going to come at you. Right foot, right hand. It's all coming at you. So duck and weave to the left, Sabrina. No, man.
Duly noted.
I was always a big fan of the uppercuts. A lot of people didn't see them coming because they're always coming from underneath, and I really feel like they're underutilized in MMA. That's been one of mine. What is one of y'all's favorite strikes to perform in training and to practice?
That's a hard one. There's so many. I mean, there's no bad one.
No.
Yeah.
Like the one you have the most fun doing, like a hurricane kick or something.
Spinning back fist.
Spinning back fist. There we go. There's something.
Yeah. See, mine's spinning back kick. So that one's my favorite to do.
Nice. Yeah.
I feel like a ballerina. So.
Okay.
Right.
We're spinning and we're deadly.
Right.
Play that music box. That's going to be its own little horror movie. That's so awesome. All right, well, guys, thank you guys so much for your time. I try to keep the questions a little fun and lighthearted. Obviously, we've seen both you guys grappling. We're really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do in MMA and with your striking careers. Is there any last words you have for each other? I'll let Sabrina go first.
No, I'm just very grateful and very humbled to be able to take this opportunity to see where this all goes.
Cayla?
Yep. I mean, I don't know. Good luck. And yeah, I'm very excited to see. I've been ready for this moment for a long time, so ready to finally be there.
Yep.
All right. Well, you guys are definitely going to be putting on, one heck of a performance. We all know that, there's no quit in any of you. So we're really looking forward to watching this fight, and, good luck to both of you, and, train hard, train safe, and we'll see you guys in on September 17th for weigh-ins and September 18th for Rage in the Cage 83.
Yeah.
It's good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye, guys.
thank you.
All right, guys, y'all heard it right there. Sabrina DeArmond. We had Cayla, the Corgi of Corski, Checorski. Sabrina, Lil Mama DeArmond. I'm going to have to practice that. So, man, this is going to be pretty fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really awesome featherweight competition, featherweight contest between these two women warriors. We don't see nearly enough women in MMA, and I'm really glad to see these two women getting in there and going to be putting on a good show. So, like I was telling everybody, these are some women to look up to for sure. Their character is just phenomenal. They really are hard workers. They put it all out there. They got their families, they got their communities that they stand up for. So shout out to both of these awesome women. Really looking forward to watching this. So Rage in the Cage 83 is happening Saturday, September 18th at the Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton, Oklahoma. You can get your tickets at stubwire.com. Be sure to pick a fighter that you are coming to support whenever you check out, so that way they can get ticket credit for those. So always support your local fighters. Again, that is stubwire.com. Check it out, guys. We're going to be back with more Rage in the Cage 83 Talk Before the Walk episodes coming up this week, and I believe we have some on, I want to say, Thursday and Friday coming up. So we'll get some more interviews coming in. Friday we're going to have, I think, three or four people on at 8 p.m. on Friday, and we'll be announcing some more coming up. So stay tuned to the Talk Before the Walk. If you guys can go onto our Facebook page, F.A.S.T Productions, at the YouTube page, F.A.S.T Productions, and give us a subscribe and share, give us comments below and all that jazz, and let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win, all that stuff. So please share these videos to everybody you can, worldwide if you can. Thank you guys for tuning in. Rage Nation, the Talk for the Walk universe. It has been your boy Cool Breeze, Justin Christie, one more time. Thank you again for tuning in. We will see you at the fights on September 18th for Rage in the Cage 83.